Welcome to your Stick Niner Empire podcast. I'm here with your two hosts, awesome hosts at that, Lucas and Luke. I'm here, Iron Mike, as always. Guys, we got a lot to talk about to this week. What an exciting week, right? 35-7. We did go through a couple injuries, which is on a sadder note. But guys, Brock Purdy looks like the real deal. It looks like those 4 years of college have really done a lot for him. There wasn't much he could have done wrong except for that one pass that was almost picked, but the man was calm. He was collective. I think he shows a little bit of a slightly stronger arm than what we thought he did. I mean, he had two wonderful passes for I think about 25, 35 yards outside the lines on the numbers there. That's more than Jimmy has done, in a game in the last 4 years. So how you guys feeling? Because I'm super stoked. I'm super excited, and I'm starting to feel like if he keeps this up, man, we could win some games and we can win in the playoffs with him too. Starting with you, Ortiz.
Yeah, I mean, other than the Deebo injury, and I think the latest news on that is he might only miss about 3 weeks, which I don't know about you guys, but when I first saw the injury, I'm thinking ACL done for this year, maybe even done for the beginning of next year. So to hear the news that it's only a minor ankle sprain, an MCL sprain, he's definitely going to be back for the playoffs.
Huge
it was
relief.
Great, huge relief. Yeah, huge load off our shoulders. And the game itself was tremendous. I mean, we showed we were the dominant team in the NFC. We put it to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It wasn't even close. I think they pretty much gave up near the end of the third quarter. I mean, it just
Brady
like
didn't though.
It was a defeated team. Yeah. He almost
Brady
let
didn't.
it back. Yeah. It took. I think they got that last touchdown on a fortuitous bounce or a fortuitous double catch. I think Drake Greenlaw should have intercepted it, right? And speaking of Greenlaw, how great was he last game? 15 tackles, an interception, talked a bunch of shit going into the game, and backed it way up. So we'll get into who our players of the game were, but I'm gonna put it out there. I think Drake Greenlaw was definitely the MVP on the defense. And offensively, Purdy, I mean, what can I say? One game in, first game starting as a rookie. I think every rookie starter going against Tom Brady ever has been a loser. And to break that trend was pretty cool. I love the shots of his father and his mother in the stands watching him, crying, emotional, just loving every moment, high-fiving people in the stands. It was a pretty cool sight. So let's see some more of it. We're not going to anoint him the next Joe Montana yet. No. I'm not going to say he's the next Nick Mullins either. He's somewhere in between. I think he's going to be a solid quarterback. He's going to bridge us to the postseason, and who knows? Maybe he takes us all the way there. Maybe Jimmy Garoppolo gets back and is able to come in, second or third round of the playoffs and take us the rest of the way. How do you see it, Luke?
I really like the way this kid's playing. I mean, to be Mr. Irrelevant, he sure turned the tables and made Brady the irrelevant one who had 100 people that his folks, he bought 100 tickets and they all got to watch him get embarrassed. But to be 16 of 21 for 185 yards, a couple of touchdowns, he ran one in, and then most of that all came before halftime. I mean, we were on fire, man. Watch him play, I like that he's not thinking too much. Because he knows he has the talent. He played 4 years at a college that, he was the starter. So he was out there. He doesn't think, he doesn't overthink it. He just goes with his instincts and plays. And that's why we're good right now. I mean, that's why he was so good. And that's why I think, that'll also get him hurt, which hopefully he's okay. Do you guys have an update on his injury?
Last I heard, it was an oblique strain. I don't think it's too serious. It's an important muscle. Like, everybody doesn't realize how important those core muscles are. And when one is strained, it can make every throw excruciatingly painful. It could lead to overthrows, underthrows. So, really hope it's not anything that's going to keep him out of the game. But if it does, then, look for the 53-year-old quarterback, Josh Johnson, playing for his 38th professional football team to lead this talented Niner team.
I don't know if I want to see that.
to another NFC West divisional title Thursday
With the
night
quick
against the
turnover,
Seahawks.
we could see Josh Johnson. I mean, wouldn't that be cool though to beat Seattle with Johnson? I mean, it's gonna be tough.
Wouldn't you rather see Kyle Juszczyk as the backup quarterback?
That McCaffrey played quarterback.
That's not a bad idea.
He could
He just runs half the time, and then he had a nice arm when he threw that touchdown pass.
I think
Actually,
most guys in the
guys-
Niner backfield could throw a little. Him, Deebo, and McCaffrey, they could all throw a little bit.
No, you know who was an actual high school quarterback was Juwan Jennings. He was recruited as a quarterback and moved to wide receiver when he was at the University of Tennessee.
Yeah, let's hope we don't have to go that far because, man, everything I saw from Purdy, you know, he reminds me so much, and I was telling you guys after the game, he reminds me so much of Jeff Garcia, but I think he's got a little bit of a stronger arm. If you ever go back and watch Jeff Garcia play, he always puts his whole body into it.
He would jump
Purdy
up.
I was just going to say that, yeah.
Purdy does it. He reminds me, he's gritty, he's small. I am worried about his health. I mean, if you look at Purdy's shoulders, man, this guy's a small dude. I'm afraid of him taking hits, but man, he's got guts. He wouldn't give up, man. That guy had no fear in him whatsoever. I was highly impressed. Can't get away from it. Yes, reminds me of Garcia big time.
He actually said after the game, he kind of enjoyed that first hit. It kind of like got him going, woke him up, so to speak. And he really does. Like if a guy, I think where he also differs from Jeff Garcia is he's a little more smooth and he's got a little more guile. Like Jeff Garcia, I felt was kind of like you said, like he had to put everything into every throw. He's a little more.
You see his shoulders moving like that.
Mechanical, right.
And he had Terrell Owens, man.
He was a great runner. He was a good scrambling quarterback, and he was good at keeping plays alive and getting those broken plays to T.O. and who's some of our other JJ Stokes, I think was one of the wide receivers back in the day. Yeah. So the kid is solid. I think he's ready for prime time. He's ready for the big stage, and we'll see what he does against Seattle. It's a different environment. He's gotten to play against teams using on his home field and with his home crowd at his back cheering for him. It's going to be a big different scenario when he gets to Seattle. It's going to be cold. People are going to be booing. They're going to be loud. They're going to be pumping loud music and making it even louder and crazier than it already is. We were there last year, Luke. Tell Mike what the environment was when we were in Seattle.
Man, it was hostile.
It was very hostile.
It was really hostile. I've never seen a game that felt so fast. Being in the stands at that game, everything that happened and transpired on the field felt like it was so fast that it made me kind of think like, how is Jimmy Garoppolo going to do anything in this game? Everything was going so fast.
I'm terrified to go in that stadium. I'm never going in there. I have no interest in going to Seattle whatsoever. I almost think it's unfair as a recording engineer. Like, the stadium is acoustically designed to be loud. I find it like an unfair advantage. And there's a couple of teams, not necessarily Seattle, that have been caught almost cheating, like repumping volume into their speakers. I could think the Falcons were one of those teams.
New Orleans does it. The Superdome. Yeah.
And a couple teams have been
when
caught.
They weren't good.
The NFL does not allow that. That's an unfair advantage, that's not right. But yeah, I'm almost terrified to go in that stadium. But this year, we definitely, right now, we got the better team with or without Purdy. I hope we can handle the noise.
Yeah.
They're going to be on a silent count probably. But let's see. I'm really intrigued because I think he's a good little young quarterback. I believe in him. I think I just don't know where this game's going to go, though. I think the Niners are the much better team. But yeah, he's going to have some. He's going to be learning some things this week. Let's leave it at that.
Well, if it goes our way, and we're probably all in the same belief that it's going to go our way, I think it's going to be Christian McCaffrey having another big game. Let's talk a little about him and
running game's got to be strong.
How important does it look now going back trading for Christian McCaffrey? Not having Deebo for the rest of or at least the next 3 games, maybe 4. He's going to have to lead the way. He's going to get a lot of he's already getting a lot of carries and a lot of usage, but it has to be him.
I mean, it's really the difference between, us talking about having a chance at the Super Bowl and not. I mean, that's having Deebo out is a big, big, big problem. Hopefully he'll be back soon, like you said, but not having McCaffrey would have been triple the problem because this kid, we have McCaffrey. He's He's a freaking machine. You know, he had how many yards did he have rushing this time? Like 120 or something, you know?
He had about he had about 100, 114, and then he had the big touchdown catch, which a lot of wide receivers, even on our own team, can't make that catch. I mean, that was unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, it's unfortunate it was a little anticlimactic because they called the touchdown and they said it wasn't a touchdown, and then they had to go to the review, and then they saw he got just like a little millimeter of his toe in when he re-caught the ball after he bobbled it.
Unbelievable catch.
Crazy catch. Yeah. The
Hey,
guy's
real
just stupid
quick,
talented.
you guys, let's just do a quick announcement to let everyone know if you're expecting to see Damon Bruce, he will be with us. He had some issues he had to tend to, and he will be here next week. So we're doing a show with him on next Tuesday. So a week from today, we'll have longtime Bay Area broadcaster Damon Bruce with us, and we're still going to do that. So in case you tuned in and expected to see Damon, he will be here, but he had to take a rain check tonight. So just wanted to update everyone. Mike?
Definitely look forward to that next week. I think we touched on the defense a little bit. Maybe you wanted to touch on it again. Maybe go around the horn, see who the defensive player of the game is. I could only think of two guys. I know everyone's going to fight to take the main guys, so I will go second because I don't know who my third pick would be.
Who's going first, Luke? McLaughlin?
I'm going to take Jimmy Ward.
Yeah.
That's who I was going to pick. That's who I was going to pick.
Like you said a couple weeks ago, Mike, he's accepting his role on this team regardless of what that role is, but he has stepped in and just doesn't care. That's what we need, and that's why he's been phenomenal. So definitely he's all over the field and would take Jimmy Ward, and that's my guy.
Defense would not be where it is right now without Jimmy Ward. He's almost like an MVP for the defense, even though we really know it's Boza. But as far as what Jimmy Ward means to the team, you really can't go wrong, man. He's done so much. I love him for it.
And just a footnote on that, you know, part of the reason why Brock is able to step in and be as Purdy as he is, you know, he also is benefiting from having the #1 defense in the league who's keeping the offense on the field. So that's a huge part of it. So let's keep.
He doesn't need to be spectacular. He doesn't need to. He doesn't need to go outside of himself and be a hero. Like, he just needs to not turn the ball over. You know, hand the ball off
within the game.
He needs to.
Like I
said, some key third down passes.
Play within the game. That's all.
He's been able to do that. Absolutely.
I'm gonna take the cheap way out. You know who I'm going with. I gotta go with Greenlaw. Man, what was it? 15 tackles, a pick. I think he tipped or almost had another one also, or he tipped another one. This guy is fantastic.
What a season he's having.
Dude, he's outplaying Fred Warner at this point. If you look number wise.
Wow. So you guys, terrible picks because you know. That leaves me with the third pick. I'm gonna go with somebody you didn't really hear his name too much, but I thought he had a profound impact on the game, and that's Charvarius Moody Ward. I can't think of outside maybe one throw down the middle that was a little bit more on the safeties. I don't remember seeing anybody catch anything on him. There were some short passes that were completed, and he seemed just to be there to make the tackle. You know, short losses. 3 or 4 yards each time they went to his side. He had a couple pass defenses, and he was solid. He solidified the outside cornerback position. You know, the guy that's predominantly going against the other team's #1, and in this case, it was Mike Evans. Mike Evans did have that big pass play touchdown that was called back on I guess you can call a suspect holding call, but you know, it's something that's been called on us, and you know, it's
nice to get a call for a change.
Yeah. Exactly. If you're gonna have play go your way, you can't complain.
Good pick, Ortiz, because that's just another guy that we're so lucky to have on the corner this year.
He did play well. I did notice. I think it was his best game in the last few. And by the way, he was in the 5th round, number 148, Greenlaw.
5th round. So exactly, fifth or later.
That's where we get our best. 4th, 5th.
Yeah. Credit to John Lynch for drafting him. Credit to John Lynch for signing Charvarius Ward. I think he's been the steal of the free agent market. You know, you got to look at him and say, like, hey, you know, what team wouldn't want to shut down cornerback for what we paid for him? He's not even making top 5 money at his position, and he's playing like a top 5 player. I think he's going to make the Pro Bowl. I think Dre Greenlaw and Fred Warner are also going to make the Pro Bowl. And of
They
course,
should, but they're not
Nick
as of right
Bosa. I mean,
as of right now. I don't think they're making it in as of right
DPOY.
now. Hey,
Yeah.
you know
I mean,
what? Let me throw out an honorable mention. I'm sorry. Can I throw out an honorable mention? And I know
No,
you're going to
you may
agree
not.
with me right
No.
away.
You may not. You may not. Go ahead.
Lenore has been playing out of his brain the last few games. This
Yeah.
last game, he
Both
looked
cornerbacks.
awesome, dude. He looked awesome this last game. He was tipping passes. I mean, you're not calling his name unless he's tipping a pass. So,
And
Yamador Lenore.
considering the injuries, you know, we're gonna need him because
Yeah.
we lost
was-
the cockroach. What we had
Dante
a list.
Johnson,
Dante
torn
Johnson's
ACL.
out. We got
Kevin
Dante
Givens.
never helps much.
Amory Thomas is Givens knee and Hyder ankle. So
Womack got
and
hurt
a short
too.
turnaround with this game on
Womack-
Thursday. So
I
this is
think
gonna be
Womack-
tough, man.
They both got hurt. I'm
They
not
both
sure.
got
if-
hurt.
They both
Okay.
got hurt.
Ankle. Thomas ankle. Womack concussion. So
And
Man.
you know, it was kind of odd this game. We didn't get any sacks on Tom Brady because the guy would just throw the ball before anybody got a chance to sack him. And when Bosa
exactly
did get
what
there,
Mike said he would do. That's funny.
Yeah, he just throws himself at the floor like
I could have sworn
you're gonna be
sworn
5
Brady.
yards out. You ain't gonna draft. You ain't gonna tackle Tom Brady,
Yeah.
bro. He just
Yeah.
throws himself. He feels that pressure. He takes 2 steps and he throws himself
Well,
at the floor.
Bosa had him. It looked like his knee was down, and he just like threw the ball to the sideline, and they didn't call intentional grounding. They said,
That was
He
a
got the
weird
ball.
play, man. He was in
was
the
a-
grasp.
"I'm giving Bosa the sack on that. I don't give a shit
Yeah,
when
it
anybody
was
says."
a sack, man. You can't do that. Who was that
Yeah.
ball to? The ground?
Yeah.
Come on.
So there was unbelievable pressure on him. It's just he's one of the best quarterbacks of just getting the ball out, and you know, he'll throw it away 25 times in a game if he has to avoid the sack, and he did. It's essentially what happened this game. You know, they didn't throw the ball deep. They didn't throw the ball that often, or they didn't throw it for completions that often. And you know, we just defense did what they did, dominate. I think we're looking good heading into the last 4 games of the season, and you know, let's look to get some guys back from that injury list. I think Javon Kinlaw is probably going to make a debut, hopefully this week or the next.
After
Wow.
Washington is what Kyle Shanahan said this morning. I just
After
read up
Washington,
on that
okay.
morning. He said
Okay,
he
so
said,
not against Seattle.
hopefully. He said hopefully after Washington.
Yeah.
I guess he got
Hey,
it for a
Doug's
whole week.
boy Danny Gray got a catch, his first catch, right? At the
That's
end
right.
of the game.
Yeah.
First down. He moved the chains.
Yeah.
Hey,
For some
put him out
reason,
there. I want to see more of him.
Kyle hasn't really gone to him, you know, in games as far as like, you know, using him as a deep threat or a decoy or just somebody that can stretch the field. And I was surprised at how little Jordan Mason ran the ball. He only really
Yeah.
got some touches kind of like near the end of the game when it was already, 28 or 35 to nothing.
They were good touches though.
I
That-
thought for
were
sure
good
like he
touches.
was going to be somebody that Kyle was going to, you know, use to kind of save McCaffrey. Like you don't really want to run McCaffrey into the ground. You want to keep him fresh for the playoffs. So I want to see him more coming out as a pass catcher and less runs in the middle. As effective as he is, I think Jordan Mason is a much better inside tough yard running type of running back. And,
That
you know,
leads
let him
into
absorb
some-
the punishment.
That
He's-
leads
he's a
into
bigger
one
back.
thing I wanted to ask you guys because, you know, I get that Kyle's had some issues with giving up big leads in the second half, but you got to at least sit some of the major players, the big starters that we know we can't go do without towards the end of that game. In the second half, some of these guys, they need the playing experience. Like, why not put in your backups? Because I know it's partly because of the Super Bowl and you know,
And
he's,
why is Deebo running the ball up the middle when we have a 28-0 lead?
I don't know that was up the middle,
I'm
but
not-
he
I don't
turned it
think
up
we
the
need to-
middle. But still, yeah, you're right. There was no need.
I don't think
for
it
him
was,
to be
I-
running
I
the
I don't
ball.
think it was meant to be ran up the middle. I think they wanted to push him outside, but the outside was blocked, so he changed his mind and he decided to go up the middle.
Which
Hey, don't take him out of the game, but you know, how about let's throw him the ball 20 yards down the field where he's less likely to take a big hit or have somebody fall on his ankle like it happened.
Agreed.
So
But you know,
Yeah.
McCaffrey should be out of that game. Like you don't need to risk. We need him.
yeah,
You know, at this
we're
point,
splitting
like,
hairs. Yeah,
it's-
we're splitting hairs, but we can do that. Unfortunately, that was very ugly. You know, you would never want to see one of your best guys go down when it's unnecessary, when you don't need him to be running those types of plays at that stage of the game.
Quick question: was it a high or low ankle sprain officially?
It's been called a regular low ankle sprain. So it's not a high
That's
ankle
the better
sprain. Is
one, yeah.
actually kind of a break of the bone. Technically, it's much worse and it's a much longer healing process.
Brutal, yeah.
So
6 months.
to hear that it's only going to be about a 3 to 4 week injury is outstanding. You know,
And it might be even sooner. You never know. Yeah, I've had quite a few.
Could have been so
few of
much
those playing
worse.
sports. Yeah.
So
God.
I know that Purdy did not get sacked, which is awesome. But let's do a little down in the trenches here, Lucas. What's your how'd they look? I mean, I know they look pretty darn good, but especially with the injuries, can we get through this with those injuries? And
let's start it up with the most controversial player on the offensive line, Mike McGlinchey. I thought he had a tremendous, outstanding, just intimidating and throwing his big body around type of performance. He was just, every time we ran those outside plays, especially with the Deebo touchdown, it seemed like he was pancaking somebody or throwing him to the ground or just devouring and engulfing them with his huge frame. He didn't give up a sack. I felt like he was much better at handling the bull rush. So kudos to him. I think he's taken a lot of criticism this year, and rightfully so. There's been a lot of times when he's deserved it, but this game was definitely a bounce back game from last week.
Yeah, he was just smashing people.
Yeah. What can we say other than A+? You know, Brock Purdy actually should have gotten rid of the ball on that first play where he took the hit and they called the helmet-to-helmet penalty. Yeah. He just didn't see it, and he actually checked into the wrong play, he said, after the game. So it wasn't anything on the offensive line. It was just one extra guy that was unaccounted for in the wrong play. Luckily for us, it didn't hurt our chances to win, and we got that penalty and scored on that first drive. So A++. On to Seattle. Let's see if they can repeat that performance. I know the guys are going to practice too much this week. I think they're just doing some light walkthroughs, and kind of an advantage going into this game is we've already played Seattle. We know what they can do. We know their offense. We have a game plan that's already, somewhat in place. So you don't really have to do too much in preparation. And on a short week, it's kind of nice to have that in your back pocket, knowing what your opponent is trying to do against you.
I think it is going to be tough, man. They're going to be having a tough one against Seattle because, they're looking pretty good, better than the last time we played them. Mike, what do you see for predictions for this game on the short turnaround?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Whenever there's a short turnaround like this, the last place I normally would like to go is Seattle. I believe Seattle did lose this weekend as well, off the top of my head.
Carolina.
Yeah. So overall, they've been playing good this year. But I feel like the last game they started to skid quite a bit. I mean, how do you lose to Carolina, especially the way we destroyed them? I'm
definitely after we took their best player.
I keep saying low scoring game, but it seems like the Niners are starting to fire on all cylinders, even with a young kid. So I know there's got to be a lower scoring game here somewhere. I'm going to go with the Niners 20, Seattle 6. Seattle 6.
Wow. 20-6.
Impressive.
So we're not going to score that many points this game.
I don't think so.
You think the Seattle defense is good? The Seattle defense just gave up 200 yards rushing.
No, I don't.
To the Carolina Panthers.
It has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with that. But the deal is that, I mean, they got to, Pete Carroll's a great defensive coordinator. He's a great coach at defense. It has nothing to do with that. It has more to do with the fact that we have a young QB who's never been in that type of environment. That does worry me.
All right. McLaughlin.
Well, I think we're going to fare better than that. In fact, I'm going to say it's going to be more of a high-scoring game. And I think that they're not going to know what hit them because they don't understand yet that Brock's – oh, wait. That if Josh Johnson plays, I like Arango's score. But if Purdy plays and is healthy enough to do what he does and play those impulse, he's really just working on his impulses and he's making good decisions. So I'm going to say Seattle 28, Niners 41.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah, but
Josh Johnson takes the fourth quarter.
How they scoring 28 points on us?
Gino's actually played pretty well. Like
He's played real
remember,
good this year.
Dude, the game that Lucas and I were at, they did a
He played
freaking
real
fake
good this year.
punt and they scored.
They
played real good this year.
They always score something weird, like you said, like a special teams play.
Wait a minute. But if Tom Brady couldn't score 7 points, it couldn't score 14 points. How's Geno Smith going to score 14?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You know, and he's got DK Metcalf, he's got Tyler Lockett, he's got weapons. You know, they're not coming here bare.
I can't see them scoring over 10 points. I just can't. This defense is the real deal.
Yeah. So Thursday night, the crowd is going to be loud. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be like 90% Seattle fans there. I think last year, because it was a Sunday game, there was a good 49er fan contingent, but being it's a Thursday, it's a little closer to Christmas. I just think it's going to be all Seattle. It's going to be loud, raucous. You know, the Niners are probably going to have to like take their first punch in the first quarter, and I think just talent trumps everything in the end when it comes to the end of the, you know, determining who's going to win. And I just think we're gonna enforce our will. I think the running game is going to get really going in the third quarter. It's going to be slow treading in the first half. They're not going to give up a lot to us, but we're just going to wear them out, and it's going to be somewhere in the, I think, like 25 to 10. I don't think they're going to score a lot of points on our team.
I can see that too.
You know, we're gonna have to grind out like maybe 3 or 10, you know, 3 or 7 points in the first half, and then just like I said, be dominant in the second half, like what we've done all year. We just, you know, not let anything, not give up too much in the second half. Just grind that team into submission in the end.
What you're saying, I think what you're saying, Mr. Ortiz, is that there will be no Christmas this year in Seattle, right? Correct?
None at all.
There will be no Santa Claus this year over there. As a matter of fact,
fake 12th man.
You know what? I don't think the 12th man's gonna make
crowd
it.
Noise pumping.
Wow. So I'm gonna say you get about 25%, 25%, 25% 49er fans, maybe 35. How's that? Because we've been traveling all year. Our fans have been there. They've been there for their team.
You know, at this point in the year, obviously we need this game because it's divisional, and you know we want to lock it up.
Win the division.
As soon as we can.
Win the division. We win the division. I mean,
it's
knock
huge.
it out early, baby.
It's a huge game. It's a huge game, but it's also going to be a tough game because of the short turnaround. So, also in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, whatever happens, let's just get out of there healthy. We can't have any more stars get hurt. So, I hope they win, and I hope they just keep doing what they're doing. But I hope that at the end of that, we don't have a giant injury list, especially some of our stars.
This is the game where I think you will see Mason get the ball more. I believe that. Grind it.
It's got him written all over it, right?
This is the game. I think you start to really see him because at some point, Kyle Shanahan's going to want to develop him and have him be a guy that gives fear to other teams as another weapon. You know, he wants other teams to look at him as a weapon. Deebo's out. Hey, this is a perfect time to get another bulldozer style runner in there.
And you'll get a lot more McCaffrey, and we all know that. Mitchell would have had a big game because he plays well against Seattle. But yeah, let's hope that we come out and win this division. That would be pretty nice because after that, then you put in Josh Johnson for a couple games.
I think we continue to use Purdy. We still need to knock off Minnesota, which is more that we're just at like a game behind, and that will at least give us 2 home field games.
2 home field games, exactly.
We got to do it. Purdy's not going to the bench, guys. He's not. Even if we win this game, we need to try and keep winning as much as we can. Hopefully, until there's something not to lose. So hopefully he plays. Yeah, I really. Now, if he doesn't play, you know what? If he doesn't play, how do you guys feel about the game? Before we go here,
it'll be really close, but we'll pull it because of our defense.
I don't know. It's going to be tight. I think, like what Luke said, it's going to come down to defense.
I shouldn't even spoken my words there because now we're all worried now. So I'm hoping he's going to play though. You know, he said after the game. You know,
I mean, how many teams do you know can win with the 4th string quarterback? Just think about that. What team in the NFL is good enough to lead a 4-string quarterback to victory. So that's just, you know,
executive of the year,
The
John Lynch.
Cowboys?
yeah.
You know, executive of the year, John Lynch, man, for putting this team together.
Maybe the Eagles. I mean, you know, that's a problem they don't have right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be Brocken and rolling in Seattle this Thursday. Can't wait.
Right on, you guys.
And with that said, guys, thank you for tuning in. Again, guys, if you like our show, we see ratings going up every week. Let's smash that subscribe button. You know, we're not going to harass you.
Subscribe.
Yes, we're not going to harass you and send you 50,000 emails or anything like that. You know the way some people do. I can't stand that. But no, on a serious
What
note,
show that's as good as ours can you watch from beginning to end with no freaking ads?
You know, exactly. Good
For
point.
now, but as soon as we hit that 100,000 mark, oh man, every 30 seconds,
Guys,
I
hit
hit you
the
with the
smash.
Viagra commercial.
Hit the smash button,
Please
it,
like and subscribe.
We'll, you know, one day a week we'll give you an update so we can catch you live. And again, we do have some little gifts to give out at the end of the year as well. When are we gonna do that, guys?
I've been working on the trivia questions. Let's present our first one next week. Well, we have Damon, so how about the week after that?
Okay, because we're running out of some time, so and we got some nice gear here to give out. So you know, I've done it on my show as well a few years in a row. So let's do it. With that said, guys, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week. Go Niners!
Go Niners!
Go Niners!
Thanks,
Peace.
guys. Be safe.